Hey, welcome back, ScreenCrush. I gotta go off on a little bit of a mini rant here. After listening to a new show, I know the Star Wars story that I want to see next. Vampires. More importantly, I need a Vampire Jedi Academy TV show. And actually, Star Wars Episode 9 was almost about a Lovecraftian Force monster that taught Kylo Ren how to be a Force vampire.
Why, that's monstrous!
Wait, that sounds good.
Alright, so let me explain. So I started thinking about all of this when I saw this weird ad on Reddit.
Twin Talon was bleeding from his butt.
And you know how sometimes you hear something that is just so bad you kind of cringe watch it? But then I kept watching this because, you know, I want to know why this guy's butt was bleeding. Oh, I can't wait to find out why. And then I did a deep dive and I found out that the ad is actually from an audio series called My Vampire System by Pocket FM. They power this video. So I couldn't just leave it there. I downloaded Pocket FM, took Doug on a walk, and I got pulled into this story. And I do this all the time. While I'm thinking about a concept for a video, I get pulled into some other pop culture reference that gets me thinking about Star Wars in a new way. Or what's it about? Well, My Vampire System is about this guy named Quinn who goes to a school where everybody has powers. And he is bullied because he doesn't have powers. But then he gets powers from a magic book. Look, I'll be honest. It's not the most unpredictable story I've ever heard. It's a little bit more guilt than pleasure, if you know what I mean.
She has ice abilities. She could freeze me anytime.
But it still pulled me in. My Vampire System is great to listen to while you're doing the dishes, walking your dog, or ignoring your parents at dinner. Yeah, and I like to listen in the car. Right, but all of this got me thinking about Star Wars and Force vampires, and then I remembered that we almost did get a Force vampire, Kylo Ren. Colin Trevorrow's original script for Star Wars Episode 9 showed Kylo Ren training to be a Force vampire who ultimately learns to use the Force to heal and give life, which we did end up kind of seeing in the movie. And this got me thinking about how the big missing piece of the Star Wars saga is that we never really get to see how Kylo Ren fell to the dark side. I mean, it's been hinted at in the comics, but I would love to see a Jedi Academy movie or show about Ben Solo's fall from grace. So the idea of a school about superpowered teens isn't new. There's the X-Men, JJK, Sky High, Percy Jackson, My Hero Academia, and My Vampire System. And I think this trope would work great in Star Wars. Give us teen angst, but at a Jedi Academy. I mean, if My Vampire System can do it, then why can't Star Wars? Oh man, are you going to talk more about this Vampire System show? Yes, because I'm kind of obsessed. I'm actually a little embarrassed to be talking about it so much. I really did not want it to be good, but it is fun to listen to. Yeah, I listen to it when I poop on my walks. Yeah, and one thing I liked about the story is how it very slowly unfolded more and more layers. Like I said earlier, the story starts off with a simple premise. Quinn is the only kid without powers in a world where everyone else has super abilities, so he's being bullied by everyone.
My parents couldn't afford an ability book.
No powers and he's poor?
Talentless talent!
And that's why his butt was bleeding. Or because he ate chicken bones? No, because they were beating him up. But then he finds his parents' old ability book, accidentally bleeds on it, and it unlocks his power. He becomes a vampire. But this is what's cool about it. He upgrades his magical abilities like he's in a video game.
Congratulations. You have been granted the Vampire System.
But then layers and layers start to unfold into this deep lore that becomes addictive to listen to. The twist comes when he's drafted into the army to fight in this war against aliens called the Dalki. Now, in the first episode, he's trying to learn about his new powers while they're training him and other children to fight in this 30-year-long war. The series is based on a manga by JKS Manga, and it's voiced by Rory Young, and it has more than 500 million listeners. Now, the story works for me because, as a lit RPG, it does one of my favorite things in stories. It combines two tropes that really shouldn't belong together, but it makes them work. In this case, Quinn is learning magic, but he learns it through the lens of leveling up in a video game. So as he's leveling up, they use this VR heads-up display to show his magical abilities increase. And Quinn's relatable because he is this put-up-on guy. He's bullied at school, he's drafted into the military, and then he just tries to stay under the radar just to make it through the academy without exposing his powers. But, you know, people get suspicious when he can't go out in the sun, and he starts healing from stuff that should have killed him, and then he unlocks abilities that people have never even heard of. He starts easily defeating top-ranked students, dodging attacks, and every time he gets angry, his eyes glow red, which is a pretty big tip-off that he's a vampire. And then once his secret's out, everything changes. The story goes from high school drama to full-blown power struggle. The story turns into a legit saga, and for now, it's the closest thing I can find to a Jedi Academy TV show, except instead of lightsabers, it has bloodlines, power cores, and a kid trying to survive in a world that is just trying to chew him up. Now, I'm not not saying I want Disney Plus to make a Star Wars show exactly like My Vampire System, but I do think that stories like this resonate because, well, we all went to school and we know what it feels like to be alone and different. And you know, in the prequels, whenever we saw Padawans learning in the temple, they were always these like serene, skilled kids who were forced to become child soldiers during the Clone Wars. However, a Jedi Academy TV series set after Return of the Jedi could show Luke struggling to teach these kids how to hold their hormones in check. It would show these great expectations that Luke is putting on himself, but also show Ben Solo's great expectations. And this is where I see a lot of Ben Solo in the hero Quinn from My Vampire System. I mean, Ben Solo is the heir to the Skywalker saga, and that is a lot of pressure to put on a kid. I always hated that Ben's turn to the dark side was just because Palpatine was in his head. He should face a temptation to use the dark side to do some good. See, Quinn faces similar temptations. As he learns that he's more powerful than any other kid, he goes overboard protecting his kids from bullies. Legit, this is the kind of slippery slope that could have turned Ben Solo to the dark side. Shows like My Vampire System can show us what is possible in franchises like Star Wars. Not every story has to be a big budget show that like breaks Disney Plus's budget. They can tell these stories in fun formats like the audio serials on Pocket FM. Now, I've always liked to listen to audio stories, but usually they're too long, or they take themselves too seriously, or they just require too much of my attention. But Pocket FM has a wide variety of audio stories like My Vampire System that start off simple, but then evolve and go super deep into the lore. And that is why Pocket FM is the best platform for an audio series like this one. It is perfect for any situation, driving, walking, doing house chores, and the stories are a lot of fun. I'm so glad they sponsored this video. Pocket FM has so many series like this in a wide variety of genres: sci-fi, romance, horror, fantasy, suspense, thriller, and many more. The episodes are short, bite-sized, and perfect for binge listening. In fact, if you sign up to Pocket FM today using my code ScreenCrush, the first 500 people get 250 coins. You can hit the link below to try it out today. But what do you think? Should we get a Jedi Academy series starring young Kylo Ren? Should it be animated? Should it be an audio series and featured on Pocket FM? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, or at me on Twitter, Blue Sky Threads, or on our free-to-join Discord server. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe and smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.